Mark writes, Greg, just want to say thank God for your site, your new video blog. The section is brilliant, and I always look forward to what you have to say. I was just wondering, what do you do, or if anything, for stretching routines? Do you incorporate that into your workouts, if at all? Thanks again for your website and all your information, Mark from Canada. You know, Mark, that's a great question, because a lot of people don't quite understand this. Everyone thinks stretching is such a positive thing to do and a necessity. And it actually is very detrimental to your lifting program. Two different trains of thoughts. Some people think it's good, some people think it's bad. I'm a firm believer it is the worst thing you can do in between sets. The reason why is that when you're working out, right, and you're lifting, you go into the gym fresh, your muscle bellies are very long, very relaxed. When you lift them, you contract them together, shortening the heads, making a shorter belly. That's a very stable foundation. It's all mass. But in between that section, you stretch it back out, right? Only then to contract it again. And you stretch it back out and you contract it again. It's kind of like a machine. The more wear and tear you do to it, the more likelihood it's going to break down. So these people that stretch in between sets, they're trying to prevent the risk of injury when they're actually increasing it. Because once that muscle is contract and tight, you keep it in that state. And you work it, and you build it, and you rock and roll through it all. You must warm up, though, when you're doing any anaerobic workout. Anaerobic meaning your lifting program, as opposed to aerobic, which I'll get into in a second. Warming up is this. Anytime you do a targeted muscle group, whatever it is, when you first start that muscle group, whether it's chest, back, shoulders, arms, legs, whatever it may be, with that first set of that exercise, of that muscle group, you get a lightweight, get in there, you do high reps, perfect form, full range of motion. And you just do that for like 30 reps, warm it all up. Once that muscle is warmed, then you can rock and roll. You can go throughout the whole thing as heavy as you want and everything else. If you start stretching that thing out in between, you're allowing it to relax. So it's about, you don't stretch out in between. Far too often people do that, but you must warm up. Now with aerobic, when you're running, swimming, biking, that kind of stuff, stretching is imperative. It's a necessity, it's a must. Otherwise you're going to increase your risk of injury. So two totally different ideologies there. But when you're running or something, yeah, that's when you want to stretch out, warm up, go for the run or everything else. After that run, then you give it another 10, 15 minutes to really stretch it out, to build your flexibility. A lot of people look at these bodybuilders, 280 pounds on stage and stuff, right? They're working out and everything else, and like all of a sudden they're like doing splits and stuff. How's that possible? Someone with that kind of mass able to do splits? Well, it's because they lift with a full range of motion. So you're stretching while you're working out. It doesn't happen in between your sets. It happens during your set. Meaning, you bring that barbell down, right? All the way back up. You're not doing these little half sets. Half sets, first off, there's other muscle parts that you need to be lifting. You're shortening your success. You're not hitting the full targeted muscle range. So when you start doing that, then you start having like these weak points. And your muscles start growing a little differently. And you have gaps and stuff in them. Full range of motion. That's going to build your flexibility. But also then you break it up so that barbell where it locks down right here in your chest, you grab dumbbells. So you can go even deeper with it, right? And that's needed because there's muscle regions there you want to grow and stuff. That's going to build your flexibility. You guys all see like trainers warming up like sprinters, right? They're doing like a straddle and then there's someone behind them pushing them, to really enhance that stretch. Well, it's the same thing when you have weight in your hands, is it not? Imagine that's like somebody pushing on your hands to stretch you back out. Well, the weight's doing the same thing. Controlled, muscle controlled, good form, deep stretch, full range of motion. It's going to build maximum strength. It's going to mitigate any kind of like short, weak coming training where you have gaps in your muscles, and it's going to improve your flexibility. So it's a total win-win. After your workout, if you want to stretch out, you're welcome to, but not during your workout. Imagine like a metaphor could be like, when you're siphoning gas out of someone's tank, out of your own tank, of course, because we all do this. There's air in that line, right? To get started, it's kind of like when you walk into the gym and your muscles are really relaxed. To get started, you got to pull all that air out. Once all that air is out, it flows. It's just like natural. It's like it was God made, If you were to then, that's when your muscle gets contracted and it's flowing. Once it's contracted, you keep it contracted and keep it flowing. But if you were to stretch it out again, it's like taking that hose and bringing it up for a second, allowing air to go in there. It shuts it down, and you get air bubbles in there. So when it starts flowing again, it starts instead of coming out nice, starts coming out all airy like. Okay, it's a really weird metaphor, but what I'm trying to say is this, is that when you're working out and you're lifting, do a nice warm-up set, lightweight, high reps. That's all you need to do. And then when you're lifting, full range of motion, you're stretching out while you're lifting. And then you do not stretch in between sets. Now when you're doing aerobic workouts, where you're running and biking and stuff like that, yes, stretch before and after, that's imperative. But don't stretch in between sets when you're lifting. It will cause more risk to injury than stretching. I mean, people think stretching is like this beautiful thing and everything. Not when you're lifting, man. It's detrimental to your success. All right, Mark, great question. Thoughts on stretching? Thanks for watching.